Talking real estate, thanks to Honda's new 36V domestic battery range, a force for nature.
Yeah, he's back. Rob Jewett, the principal of First National Jewett Saunders. G'day, Rob.
Hey, Jamie. How are you today?
Not too bad. Hey, I'm talking about this out at 9 o'clock. I found it fascinating. But look, it's anecdotal, but a real push from some sellers for local buyers over those pesky East Coast investors.
It's on the front page of Sunday Times. It must be all true.
Yeah.
Look, I think it's a bit of a beat-up. It's understandable, though. There's massive frustration in the market. And, when people see, the property sold to an Eastern States investor, we're being pushed out of the market. The reality is, though, it's a relatively small percentage over the whole market. But certainly the Eastern States investors have been targeting Perth as the East Coast market eases a bit. Brisbane market, I was just over in Brisbane last week on holidays, and the market over there is screaming hot like Perth. A lot of investors there are sort of being, they can't afford to buy there, so they're looking to Perth as an investment. But the reality, Jamie, is that the Eastern States investors, which make up a bigger number than the local investors, generally speaking at the moment, they're helping the rental market. There's a flip side, a positive flip side to it. And, we've been talking for months and months about how frustrating the rental market is. Well, these Eastern States investors, they're providing stock for the rental market. So, it's a balance. It's not as bad as it seems, but I can understand the frustration when a buyer here feels that they've been outbid by, an Eastern States buyer. But it's not rampant across the whole market.
No, and I mean, the issue is more on the supply side than it is the demand side at the moment.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which is quite bizarre. We've never seen this before, where we've had stock levels about a third of a normal market. It's very unusual.
Yeah. Interestingly, though, we talked about it, and, there was a few anecdotal kind of references from some agents today in the paper. And I think the thing that got the headline was, someone going around chucking stickers on for sale signs saying, locals only and that kind of thing.
Help.
No. Yeah. But it was what I found fascinating. We got a couple of calls from people who said, you know what, I sold my place recently. For me, we'd had a pretty decent capital gain, and I did look at the stories a little bit, and I went without $5,000 and I gave it to that local family who were, a couple with a kid, and they're in their late 20s, early 30s, because I thought, it'd be great to give them an opportunity. Now, they said, a couple of examples, if it was 20 or 30 grand, probably wouldn't have happened, but it was, they were within a bull's roar. It was $5,000 and they're happy to do it. So sometimes the story can sell, Rob.
Absolutely. And for the seller, it's their decision which offer they want to take. Often buyers think, it's all about the money. But there's more to it, are they borrowing? Is it finance? What's their terms? What's the settlement? And now comes into play this idea of, are they local and so on. And I'm even finding, Jamie, that with properties that we're getting a lot of interest in family areas, some of the buyers are actually writing a letter. Can you please present this to the seller to explain our situation, which is fair enough. It's all part of the negotiation. And, it is taken into account at the end of the day. And I think if you get to the crux of the final decision to make, and then you've got a decision between a nice family who are trying to get into an area, an Eastern States investor, I wouldn't be surprised that most sellers in Perth say, well, look, I'll run with the local buyer. But it's their decision at the end of the day. And I think it's not quite as dramatic as it seems to be in the paper, but it is an issue out there, and it's part of the frustration at the moment.
Yeah,
but I'll tell you
absolutely.
what, I mean, there is a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, because we are in a typical winter market at the moment. And it is still hot to trot, but it has eased a bit. And we've certainly noticed in our area, sort of Scarborough, Doubleview, and through that whole area, that there are less people at the home opens. Still very strong. Prices are still probably inching up, but it's not as manic as it was. So there are opportunities out there for buyers, and particularly in the rental market. The rental market has definitely eased. Prices have flattened out, and we're not getting 50 people at our home opens now. We're getting, 5 to 10, and instead of 20 applications, we might have 5 applications. So there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel for people if they want to do something over the winter months.
All right. Okay. Maybe it is the time feeling a little disgruntled or a little beaten up over the last few months. Maybe winter's the go. Hey, Rob, really appreciate it. Where will we find you today? You out and about?
Yes, I got a couple of home opens today, and couple of new listings, and that was interesting yesterday. The first time open, red hot poker in Scarborough, but only 12 groups through. Okay. Now, normal market would say that's fantastic, but I reckon 3 months ago I would have had 20 or 30 groups through. We'll still get good offers and it'll sell for a good price, but definitely eased a bit over the winter months. That might change again in spring, so I'd be jumping in now while the opportunity's there.
Do love a bit of hibernation here in Perth, don't we? Hey, Rob, really good to speak to you. Thanks so much.
Good on you. Thanks, Sammy. Have a great day.
Rob Jewett there. Have a chat to him every week here on weekends between the Saturday and the Sunday. All right, it is 26 to 12. Let's get